Hey everyone, Linda here, coming back at you with another video today. Hope everyone's doing fine and keeping safe out there. I know that a lot of people in Texas are having problems. I looked at the news this morning and I saw where, because I know one of you are from Texas, and so I was watching the news this morning and I heard about all the problems they were having in Texas. So I just want to let you know that my prayers and thoughts are with you, and I hope everything will be fine soon. I know here they said that they think the weather is supposed to turn good and we shouldn't get any more snow here. But we did have some icy rain and sleet and snow, and we had a freeze. And I know some people pipes may have busted, but I've been trying to let my water run every night since last week all this started. So I've been having, I know my bill is going to be pretty high because I've been letting the water run all night long and all day long because it's been in the 20s and the 6, and I think it would have been as low as 16 degrees here. So I've been letting my water run. So I remember before that we had a pipe to bust here, and we didn't let our water run, and our pipes bust. So I was like, I didn't want no more of that. So I understand when your pipes bust and all this stuff that's going on, and especially in states that don't get snow. I understand that it can be a hassle because you're not prepared. Because like I say here, I think I mentioned before that people will be like, why y'all closing down the school? Y'all only got a little bit of snow. But it's different. It's different in southern states than it is up north, because if you live up north, you're used to all that stuff. But when you live in southern state and you're not used to getting snow, especially like this or in Texas, it's just a whole nother situation going on. So my thoughts and prayers are with everyone in Texas. Hopefully everything will get back to normal pretty soon, especially on top of COVID. It's rough. It's rough right now. So I'm just saying prayers for everybody, just everybody, because it's rough right now. And also I had somebody in the comments mention why is historical so popular right now. And I don't know. I don't think I can tell you why I love historical so much, because historical is not for everyone. Because if you read historicals from back in the day, historicals are they're just like contemporary, but they're just set in olden times, like in the 1800s and stuff like that. And you know, in the 1800s, back in those days, men ran everything. Women were second-class citizens. So if you don't like reading stuff like that, the historicals is not going to be for you, because in some of those books, the females didn't get treated pretty pretty well in those books. That's why a lot of people don't like reading historicals. I can only tell you why I like reading it. I like reading historical books because I'm a historical buff. I love history. I love history. When I was in school, that was my favorite subject, was history. I loved it so much because I used to be, the way I watch TV is the way I used to listen to the teacher about history, because I didn't even have to study too much in my history class, because I could remember everything that the teacher talked about, because I love history so much. And so if you love history, you're going to love historical. I'll put it like that. If you love history, you're going to love historicals, because you like reading about older times. And my first romance was a history. And that's another thing. If the first book you ever read in romance, like if it's contemporary, if it's a romantic suspense, whatever you read first, that's usually going to be the genre you stick in. And I read historical first. I read what was her name, Barbara Cartland's A Distinguished Duke. I can't remember, but it was a Barbara Cartland, and it was a historical, and that's the first romance I ever read. And ever since then, I've been reading historicals. So it usually just depends on what genre you start reading in. That's what you're going to gravitate toward. That's going to be your main genre that you like. So I started reading historicals. And plus, like I said, I'm a history buff. I love history. And I just always gravitated toward reading romance historicals. And I love historical, but I read other stuff too. But that's my main genre that I love to read. I just love reading about history and historical stuff. And it don't bother me that, because that's real. That what happened back in the day. Women didn't have the right. So it happened. That's how the historical is going to be. I know, like I said, some people don't like that kind of stuff. especially when the female is not getting treated really good back in those days. In historicals, that's why a lot of people don't like to read them, because yeah, they start reading them and they're like, no, this is not for me, because yeah, the female is not getting treated well or whatever. But I don't have those kind of trigger warnings that kind of stuff bother me, so I can read that and get through the book without it, you know, making me not like it or whatever. I know some people start reading it and it just be one little thing that turned them off, and they be like, nope, not reading this, or they finish reading it and they be like, I gave this book a 2 or something like that. But no, it don't bother me because I just love reading historicals, and that kind of stuff doesn't bother me. I don't, you know, if the guy is over alpha male or whatever, it doesn't bother me. As long as there's a good story and in the end everything turns out all right, I can usually get through the book. It doesn't bother me too much. But yeah, I can't tell you why people love historical. People love historical for different reasons. I just love it for the history, and like I said, I started out reading romantic historicals. I just started out reading that, and that's what I just gravitate to, is historicals. I'm sure other people have different reasons why they read historical, but those are my reason. And I know historical have fell off the map for a little while. I know people still read them, but they weren't as popular as they are now, like on Instagram. And mostly people like them on post them on Instagram because of the step back, because the historical have those like step back, and they have beautiful covers. A lot of people just buying them for the covers or the step backs. Some of them probably don't even read them. They just like them for the beautiful covers and the step backs. I know some I've bought for just the cover and the step back, and I'm never going to read this book. I'm just getting it for the cover and the step back. I have done that too. But I know people just probably have different reasons why they love historicals. And that's like I said, that's my reason. I love history, and I just gravitated toward reading romantic historicals. And and if you want to try out a historical, I say start with a AdoreR historical. I don't think it's too over the top. I don't think she got too many trigger warnings in her books. So if you want to start reading a historical, start with AdoreR. She's a good writer, and I think you will love her historicals. All right, let's get started with I hope I explained myself good in there. I think you asked me that question. I think the same person asked me that question before, and I didn't answer it because I was trying to think what could I say. And since you asked me again, I was like, let me go ahead and go over why I love reading historicals. So I hope that answered your question. I hope so. I'm not good at answering questions. But I hope I answered yours. So let's get started with the my book haul here. First up, I have I don't think I'm going to read the synopsis on these. I'm just going to go through them because, yeah, it took that video was, what, 30-some minutes long last time. And, yeah, I don't want this video to be that long. I'm just going to go through these. I might read like the first paragraph here of this, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'll try to go quicker this time. I'll go ahead and read the synopsis because some people might want to know what the book is about. So I'll read the synopsis. I'll just read a little bit of it. And this is Sherry Thomas, Beguiling the Beauty. Beguiling the Beauty. I hope that's what that is. Beguiling the Beauty by Sherry Thomas. I never read anything by Sherry Thomas before, and it's in good condition. I don't know if I ordered this off of Amazon. I got this from a case. I might have got it from Amazon. From the used book section. And I'll read a little bit of it. When the Duke of Lexington meet the mysterious Baroness von Sezek Hardenberg on a transatlantic liner, he is fascinated. She's exactly what he has been searching for. A beautiful woman who interests and entices him. He falls hard and fast and soon proposes marriage. And then she disappears without a trace. Okay, this sounds interesting. Very interesting. She gonna disappear. So I wonder what's gonna happen now. That sounds very interesting. Do I need to put this on my TBR for next month? Which I already got a whole bunch of books on. I don't know. But this is Sherry Thomas, Beguiling the Beauty. And that's a nice cover. Oh, and let me see when this was published. Oh, this is kind of all messed up a little bit in here. Let's see here. This was published in 2012. Next I got this from McKay's Book, and I paid $1.95 for this. And this, I've been trying to collect Anne Stewart's old historical. So I went back and tried to find these. Because look at this cover here. Love it. And this is called Shadow Dance by Anne Stewart. And let me see when this was published. This was published in 1993. Read a little bit of this. Wrongly accused of his father's murder, handsome Varian Romney must flee his vengeful pursuers. Ingenuously disguised as his older brother Phelan's wife, but desire endangers the Romy brazen masquerade. For ruffles and lace cannot hide Varian's fevered passion for the lovely and confused Sophie, while Phelan yearns for the tormented beauty Juliet, who has dressed in man's clothing to escape a heartless abuser. And now both peril and ecstasy awaits them as they move in a seductive dance of deception, where every false protective mask must ultimately be stripped away to reveal the true radiance and rapture love beneath. So I think this book here, sorry about that, my camera went out. Is this going to be on him and his brother? Because I guess he's going to be disguised. Him and his brother, and I guess he's going to disguise himself as his brother's wife. But then they're going to be falling for some other females, and I think Varian, that's the guy who's going to be disguised as Fabian's wife, is going to be falling for Sophie, and Phelan is going to be falling for Juliet. Because when I was reading this, he's posing as his brother's wife. Okay. But I guess he's going in disguise because he's fleeing. People think that he murdered his father, so he got to go in disguise as a female, I guess. That's what I'm getting out of this. So maybe it's going to be on both the brothers, or maybe one, maybe going to be on Varian's romance, and then I guess it's going to, maybe she's going to write another book on Phelan's romance. I don't know. But this synopsis is kind of confusing. Yeah. But that's Anne Stewart, Shadow Dance. And I really got it for the cover. Look at that cover. Beautiful. Next I have an Elizabeth Holt. And this is To Seduce a Sinner. Let's see when. And here, it got a step back in here. Beautiful. And let's see when this was published. This was published in 2008, and I'll read a little bit of this. For years, Mallison Fleming has loved Lord Vale from afar, watching him seduce a succession of lovers, and once catching a glimpse of heartbreaking depth beneath his roguish veneer. When he's jilted on his wedding day, she boldly offers to be his. Okay, that sounds interesting. I'm not going to read it anymore, but that sounds interesting. He was jilted, and she's gonna offer to be his. So sound interesting. Have to give it a try. Elizabeth Hope, To Seduce a Sinner. And it's in pretty good shape, and I paid 25 cents for this. 25 cents. Then I got Jill Bartlett, Bewitching, and this was 90 cents. Let's see when this was published. Published in 1993. And this is not the original cover on this one. I think this is the original cover on this. Let's go back in here and look. Yep, this is the original cover. And I know this is the original cover. Yes, that's the original cover. And I'm sure this is an original cover. Yes, this is an original cover. This one is original. And this one is original. But this is not the original cover for this one, Bewitching. I'll read a little bit of this. She had bewitched the most serious, snobbish, and handsome duke in England. Joyous McCrory, the pixie-like, green-eyed beauty, had appeared from nowhere and fell unashamedly into his arms. And all that his society friends knew of the mysterious lady was that she was Scottish, and that her grandmother had been a Locksley. Even her fine bloodline didn't make Joy quite proper enough to be a duchess, but a proud nobleman like Alex, Duke of Belmore, did as he pleased, and he wanted to marry the beautiful girl who aroused his desires. And that sounded interesting, and I was like, let me try this out. And that's Jill Bartlett, Bewitching. And the next three, I got these all for the cover. Catherine Coulter, because I've been looking for some Catherine Coulter's covers, and I found all of these at McKay's. First one up here is Midnight Magic, and this was 50 cents by Catherine Coulter. I'm not going to read the back of these, but because I got these for the cover, really. Midnight Magic, Catherine Coulter. I love her older covers. And then I got Nightfire. Look at that cover. And this was 50 cents. And then I got Jade Star, Catherine Coulter. And all her books were 50 cents. And they were all in excellent shape. Look at the back of the cover there. The back cover. And don't have too much on the back of this. But there you go. I got all three of them for the cover. I'll probably end up reading, but I doubt it. Okay, now we're going to get into some contemporary here. I bought this Vi Keeland's new book, The Invitation. Something Borrowed, Something You. I had to get it. I'll read a little bit of this. The first time I met Hudson Rothschild was at a wedding. I received an unexpected invitation to one of the swankiest venues in the city. Hudson was a groomsman and quite possibly the most gorgeous man I ever laid eyes on. He asked me to dance and our chemistry was off the charts. I knew it wasn't a good idea to get involved with him considering the wedding I was at, but our connection was intense and I was having a great time. Though the fun came to a screeching halt when Hudson figured out I wasn't who I said I was. You see, that unexpected invitation I received, well, it hadn't actually been addressed to me. It was sent to my ex-roommate who bounced a check for 2 months' rent and moved out in the middle of the night. I figured she owed me an expensive night out, but I guess technically I was crashing the wedding. It sounded interesting, and I liked this cover, so I went ahead and pre-ordered it when she had set up her pre-orders. So I pre-ordered that. I hope it's good. Next, I got 2 books in the book 2 and book 3 in the 4 Horsemen series. I got book 1, so I went ahead. I haven't read them yet. This is a case of me going ahead and buying the books because people are saying they were good. So I went ahead and got book 2, which is War by Thalassa, and book 3, which is Famine. I'll read a little bit of this. The day Jerusalem falls, Miriam Elmody knows her life is over. Houses are burning, the streets run red with blood, and a traitorous army is massacring every last resident. There is no surviving this, especially not once Miriam catches the eye of War himself. But when the massive and terrifying horseman corner Miriam, he calls her his wife, and instead of killing her, he takes her back to his camp. Okay. All right, and that's War. I like this cover. Now let's see what Famine says. Anna da Silva always assumed she'd die young. She just never expected it to be at the hands of Famine, the hunting immortal who once spared her life so many years ago. But if the horseman remembers her at all, he must not care, for when she comes face to face with him for the second time in her life, she's stabbed and left for dead, only she doesn't die. If there's one thing Famine is good at, it's cruelty, and how these blighted bastards deserved it. Try as he might, he can't forget what they once did to him. But when Anna, a ghost from his past, corners him and promises pain for what he so recently did to her, she and her empty threats captivate him, and he decides to keep her around. All right, sound interesting. And look at that cover. I like that green on there. So it sounds interesting. I'll try those 2 out. And last but not least, I finally got Grip. The Grip Trilogy by Kennedy Ryan. I think I had mentioned before in a video that I had read her the Kingmaker series, and I really enjoyed it. And I was planning on, and I had said I was going to buy the rest of her books. And so I was going to buy, I didn't know she had packaged them all in one big book here. So I was looking on Amazon to buy the Grip series. I was going to buy Flow, Grip, and Steel. But when I saw this, perfect. I didn't have to get all 3 books. I just bought this one big book. And it's the Grip trilogy. So I'm going to check this out and read it. Hopefully I will like it. Because I really enjoy her other books. I read book 1 and book 2 in the Kingmaker series, and then I read book 3 in the Hoop series. Book 3 in the Hoop series, yeah, I'll let you all know about that on my February wrap up, because I think I mentioned in another video that I really enjoyed that book. It was Hook Shot. Hook. And the chemistry between those 2 characters in Hook Shot, okay, I was like, okay. I really enjoyed that book, so that also made me go ahead and pick up the Grip trilogy, because I really enjoyed that book. So I'm sure these are going to be good too, by Kennedy Ryan. I'm not going to go over this. I know quite a few people have read the Grip trilogy already, and I only heard good thing about the Grip trilogy, so I like, let me check this out, and I'm not going to read the back of that. So that's it. That's all I have. Those are all the books I bought in January. Yeah, I was doing the most right there. Did I have another book? Oh, I'm sorry. I got one more book. Hold on. It's still in the package. Let me open that up. I have one more book here if I can find the scissors. Here it is. An Unconditional Freedom by Alyssa Cole. This is in the League series. A Unconditional Freedom. I put book 2 on my TBR for the historical Black Author Historical Readathon, and I went ahead and picked this up too. And I bought this too, but I only put 1 book from this series on my the Black Author Readathon TBR, because yeah, I didn't want to put too many books on there, because I know myself I won't I'm not gonna get to all the books, so I didn't put this one on there, and it came later too, so I didn't get to add it on there, and I wasn't gonna put it on there, you know, because like I said, I'm not gonna read all the books and end up putting them on the TBR for March anyway. But yeah, I went ahead and bought the so I got all 3 books from the series, her Lower League series, and this is the last book in the series. So I was like, let me go ahead and get both of the last 2, book 2 and book 3. And it's a nice cover on here. And Unconditional Freedom. And I'll read a little bit of this. Daniel Cumberland, born free in Massachusetts, studied law with dreams of helping his people. Dreams that died the night he was kidnapped and sold into slavery. Daniel is rescued, but he's a changed man. When he's offered entry into the Lower League, the covert organization of black spies who helped free him, he seizes the opportunity for vengeance against the Confederacy and those who support it. When the Union Army occupies the Florida home of Cuban Janetta Sanchez, daughter of an enslaved woman and the plantation owner who married her, her family wealth does not protect her father from being in prison. Under duress and blaming herself for the arrest, Janetta agrees to infiltrate a group called the Loyal League as a double agent and find a cause truly worth the sacrifice. Okay, so that sounded interesting. So the 3rd book in the Loyal League series by Alyssa Cole, and Unconditional Freedom. And let me see when this was published. And here go the first two book. An Extraordinary Union, if you can see it there, and A Hope Divided. I don't think I'm gonna make it to A Hope Divided, but I'll put, like I said, I'll put it on my TBR for March. I don't think I'm gonna make it. I don't think I'm gonna finish that book for the Black Author Readathon. I don't think I'm gonna make it to that, because my reading is going very slow right now. So let me see when this was published. In 2019. See, it's a picture of her in here. Yep, there she is. She got a beautiful picture. Alyssa Cole. Now that is all the books I have. So that's all I got for you. Until next time, keep reading those romances and stay safe out there. Bye.